Welcome to the Papyrus Global Television National News Updates. I am Christiana Babayo, and here are today's headlines. Tinubu will defeat you again, your stateless coalition stands no chance. Major voting blocs in Kano, Katsina align with APC. Federal government drops terrorism financing charge against ex-AGF Malami and son. Kachikwu disowns ADC convention, calls Mark Atiku orders political merchants. Nigerian airline operators threaten shutdown over surge in jet fuel price. Doctor dies after giving birth to triplets in Bayelsa. Africa scouts $120 billion for 6 Dangote-sized refinery to hedge energy crisis. Dollar to Naira exchange rate today, April 15, 2026. Nigeria's currency records 3-day appreciation. SFH Taraba government train 122 frontline health workers. Tears tributes as Nigeria buries Brigadier General Braimah, order fallen heroes. And now the news in details. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has been told he would lose again to President Bola Tinubu in the 2027 elections. Presidential aide Daniel Bwala dismissed Atiku's confidence in an opposition coalition, describing the African Democratic Congress as a group of aggrieved stateless leaders. Bwala said Atiku, who has contested multiple times, is likely to emerge as the coalition's candidate but would be defeated just as in 2023. Atiku had earlier claimed a united opposition would make Tinubu dead on arrival in the next presidential race. National Chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Nentawe Yilwada, says key voting blocs in Kano State and Katsina State are firmly aligned with the party ahead of the 2027 elections. Speaking in Abuja, Yilwada described Kano as a crucial northwest swing state already secured by the APC. He also dismissed fears that defections from opposition parties could destabilize the ruling party, citing successful congresses and what he called a strong internal conflict resolution system. He added that the APC is balancing politics with governance, insisting its performance in office will strengthen its chances at the polls. The federal government has withdrawn terrorism financing charges against former Attorney General Abubakar Malami and his son Abdul Aziz. Prosecutors instead filed amended charges alleging illegal possession of arms and ammunition, reportedly found at his residence in Birnin Kebbi. Both defendants pleaded not guilty. The court, presided over by Joyce Abdul Malik, ruled that their existing bail conditions remain in place. Malami, who served under former President Muhammadu Buhari, had earlier been accused of failing to act on terrorism financing cases. Trial is now scheduled for May 26 and June 15th. Crisis has deepened within the African Democratic Congress as 2023 presidential candidate Dumebi Kachikwu rejected the party's recent convention, calling its organizers political merchants. Kachikwu said the meeting linked to David Mark and Atiku Abubakar violated a federal high court order mandating parties to maintain the status quo. He argued the convention lacks legal standing. He also criticized opposition figures for focusing on attacking President Bola Tinubu without offering policy alternatives, warning their actions could destabilize both the party and the country. The airline operators of Nigeria has warned that airlines may shut down operations from April 20th over soaring jet fuel prices. In a letter to the Major Energy Marketers Association of Nigeria, the group said the cost of jet A1 has jumped from 900 to 3,300 per litre within weeks, a rise it described as unsustainable. Operators claim the increase is artificial and far above global oil price trends, warning revenues can no longer fuel costs. They say the situation is already forcing some airlines to suspend operations and could threaten Nigeria's economy and national security if unresolved. We will now take a short break and the news will continue when we come back.
Paglogma 2026. The Papyrus Global launches new series starting Tuesday, 3rd March 2026. The conversation starts now across Africa. Our languages may differ, our borders may separate us, but our struggles bear semblance. Communities seeking opportunities, Youth demanding inclusion, citizens calling for transparency. These are realities that unite us. Africa is united by a common challenge and a common responsibility, building resilient, inclusive, and sustainable communities. To set this conversation in motion, the Papyrus Global is launching the pre-conference live series, Governance That Touches Lives. Let's start where it matters the most.
Welcome back, and now the news will continue. A medical doctor, Ere Ogbachi, has died following complications after delivering triplets in the Bayelsa state. Family members say she gave birth at the Niger Delta University Teaching Hospital before complications set in, leading to her transfer to the intensive care unit at the Federal Medical Center, Yenagua, where she died in the early hours of April 14th. Her relatives described efforts by doctors to save her, but said her condition deteriorated rapidly. Dr. Ogbachi, a registrar and member of the Nigerian Medical Association, is survived by her newborn triplets. African energy stakeholders are seeking to raise $120 billion to build 6 refineries comparable to the Dangote refinery in a bid to strengthen energy security access across the continent. The proposal, discussed at the ARDA week in Cape Town, aims to reduce reliance on imported fuel amid global supply disruptions. Experts warn that crude supply constraints, pricing challenges, and financing gaps continue to threaten Africa's energy stability. They stress that expanding local refining capacity is critical to insulating economies from shocks in global oil and gas markets and ensuring long-term energy independence. The Nigerian Naira has recorded a third straight day of appreciation against the United States dollar at the official market. Data from the Central Bank of Nigeria shows the currency strengthened to 1,343.74 Naira per dollar on Wednesday, a slight gain from the previous day. Overall, the Naira has appreciated by over 12 Naira within 3 days this week. However, at the parallel market, the rate remained unchanged at 1,410 Naira per dollar. Meanwhile, Nigeria's external reserves declined to about $48.69 billion, raising concerns about sustained currency stability. The Society for Family Health, in partnership with the Taraba State Primary Healthcare Development Agency, has trained 122 frontline health workers to strengthen HIV services in Taraba State. The program, under the Pediatric Breakthrough Partnership, targets improved integration of HIV care into primary healthcare services. Officials say the training equips workers with skills in prevention of mother-to-child transmission and early infant diagnosis. The initiative also aims to sustain HIV services as donor support declines, while improving access to care, especially for women and children in underserved communities. Nigeria's honored fallen soldiers, including Brigadier General Braimah and Captain Ismail, who were laid to rest with full military honors at Maimaleri Cantonment. The ceremony was attended by top officials including Baba Gana Zulum and senior military leaders, who paid tribute to the officers' sacrifice and service. They described the deceased as brave patriots who died defending the nation's peace and territorial integrity. Their deaths highlight the ongoing fight against insurgency in northeast Nigeria, where troops continue to battle extremist groups like Boko Haram. And that brings us to the end of today's African News Update. A recap of our main stories before we go. Tinubu will defeat you again. Your stateless coalition stands no chance. Major voting blocs in Kano and Katsina align with APC. Federal government drops terrorism financing charge against ex-AGF Malami and son. Kachikwu disowns ADC convention, calls Mark Atiku others political merchants. For continuous coverage and breaking developments, stay connected with the Papyrus Global Television at papyrusdaily.com. I am Christiana Babayo. Thank you for watching. Safe evening.